How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your monthly forecast for January of 2018 for Virgo. How's it going, guys? Virgo. So much. There's been a 2017, a little intense with Saturn going through your 4th house, but everything's changing. Everything has changed. Saturn's already in Capricorn. Got a lot of other things going on. So I want to start off with Uranus going direct in your 8th house. Uranus has been in your 8th house for a while now, and Uranus being here makes this a very sensitive issue. The way that you look at yourself, what you feel about yourself, the truth about yourself, you can have a lot of passionate emotions that can lead you to think certain things about yourself and be very hypersensitive to your own sense of beliefs and your own sense of emotions towards yourself. And you can sometimes be very self-critical, sometimes in the way of, you know, how you view yourself and your identity and your persona and how you come off in this world can oftentimes be a little bit more cynical, a little bit more extreme than other people. And Uranus has been right here since 2011, and this has just been sometimes you've been able to let it go and liberate yourself from the emotional attachment that's been bringing you down and rise up like the 8th house Scorpio of the Phoenix like you have been, or you could just be finding yourself in this emotional not even a purge, just an emotionally draining, bring down. Like you could just really, I don't want to say beat yourself up, that's not the right word, but just be very, oh man, I'm at a loss, I need to open up my vocabulary more. You can just be very down on yourself, so difficult with yourself, and so self-frustrating. And Uranus has been retrograde right here, and this has been a very internal issue for you, like bringing all of the, hypersensitivity and all of the craziness that's going on inside your mind. You could be you could be internalizing it and, beating yourself up with it, being a little bit too emotionally invested into, not giving yourself the credit that you deserve. However, it is going direct, and as it goes direct, you're going to start, especially as Uranus moves into Taurus later on this year, you're going to start to see that kind of energy that you've been tapping into on that super conscious level, on the collective conscious level of that Uranus and Aries in the 8th house. You're going to see that start to manifest in the outside. And how that's going to manifest is, if you've been really raising your vibration, really just taking yourself to the next step, the next, transforming who you really are and letting Uranus take its power and, throw you on the roller coaster that is Uranus. And if you've been really stepping into that, as Uranus goes direct, I think you're going to start to see a lot more exciting results come into play, a lot more, mental stimulation, a lot more, it's like, ever read the book The Compound Effect? If you haven't read the book The Compound Effect, you really should, but basically the whole book is about, one step will get you to the top. And that Uranus aspect is one step, creating that momentum and going further and further and further. And as Uranus does go direct, I think you're going to see a lot of beneficial things that are coming towards you. Maybe some other people type relevancy, dealing with other people that are coming to you in a better way. I just think as Uranus goes through here, it goes direct, I think you're just going to start to see a lot more of how to get yourself out of a situation that you're in, how to get yourself out of an emotional situation. I should clarify that in the terms of what you're emotionally attached to, what you're letting like drown you. What are you like? What kind of anchors do you have? Like the 8th house can feel very anchoring. And being able to let go of that and move forward with where you want to be going. Saturn did just enter your 5th house. He did just leave the 4th house. Let's not even talk about Saturn and Sagittarius for a while. Let's just talk about Saturn entering your 5th. As Saturn enters your 5th house, this is going to be going on for the next 3 years. So I'll be hitting on this more and more. However, as Saturn goes into this 5th house, into your 5th house, this is the time to really clarify and see for what it is that you want. With this being in Capricorn, you're going to find yourself wanting, more of a recognition, more of a platform, more of a, not necessarily so much a stability, but an efficiency, a meaning, a bigger scale of things, just more surfacey ideas that you really want to put into place, that you want to create. And as Saturn goes through your 5th house, you're going to start realizing that the things that you may have created right now, or the things that you might have established and these systems that you've organized for yourself, may not be exactly what it is that you want right now. And you may be, you're going to be exploring for the next 3 years what exactly it is that your wants are. What do you enjoy? What really lights your heart on fire? And a lot of this is, well, I mean, I shouldn't say a lot of this. This is all happening in Capricorn. And this is the time to, to find out what you really want, build something, create something, do something that's going to give you the means of which you want to live by. Saturn in Capricorn, in your case, is really built around how you serve other people, your service to, the world, to humanity, anything like that. But not necessarily your service, but what you do and how big you do it. Is it truly you? Are you truly giving? Are you authentically giving? Meaning you're in your power, you're channeling your highest essence, and you are giving and creating structure and meaning and purpose for why you are here, why you, why you would want to give back, why you would want to create the things that you want to in your life. I know that may sound a little bit confusing. However, as Saturn goes through here, this is just going to be a big factor, is now what it is, just looking at what it is that you want and giving yourself some type of room to grow, giving yourself, an outlet to create something meaningful to you, something that you can be proud of, something that is yours. I think will really show you a lot of what more it is that really calls out to you, what it is that you really enjoy. And that's going to be going on for the next 3 years. So keep that in mind. Mars and Jupiter are conjuncting. Mars and Jupiter are going through your third house right now. Jupiter's going to be going through your third house for a while. But with Mars going in right here, this is when you're going to start to see a lot more of the mental stimulation aspects of, asking the right questions, of looking at things differently and wanting to investigate the truth. You're going to start to see a lot of that come up. Like your actions, you're just, with Jupiter going through Scorpio, you're really asking the right questions along the lines of, what are your beliefs? When Saturn went through your third house, it was like, man, fuck this, fuck that. Every answer you got was just complete bullshit. And you could have really tore you apart and, realizing all that stuff. But as Jupiter goes through here, you're kind of starting to realize that you don't really believe all those negative stuff. You're kind of asking the right questions and getting into the right mindset of, this isn't really serving me. This isn't really what's true for me. This really isn't what is, it's not me. And as Mars goes through here, start taking action on that part. Start, start analyzing your beliefs. Start asking the right questions to yourself, hey, do I really have this emotional attachment to this? Am I really thinking this? Is this really what I'm communicating? Because Virgos have I love the fact that in the solar houses, you guys' third house is ruled by Scorpio. Because Virgos, not only are you guys Mercury ruled, but the way that you communicate is so, it's just so peculiar. It's so exact. It's so cynical. It's so deep and just pierces you in the eyes, and you can feel it in the soul. It's that Scorpio ruling that part of Gemini. And as Jupiter goes through here, ask yourself the right questions with, is this really what you believe? Is this really what you are thinking? Is this really what you are communicating? If you are communicating this, if you are believing this, are you thinking this? Is this what you want? Is this what's in alignment for you? Is this who you truly are at the end of the day? Your most authentic self. Jupiter and Scorpio is kind of exposing that to you. And as Mars goes through here, this is the time to take a different action. Get clear. Go, you know what? This is what I don't want to say wake up, but kind of go, okay, maybe I should put in that focus and implement that my personal energy right now as to kind of cutting out what no longer serves, in the sense of being aware of it, telling yourself that, showing your actions based on your words, not just talk, showing your actions for it too. And then, of course, Mars will then enter Sagittarius on the 27th, where he will then go into your fourth house about meaning, What is the meaning behind, start taking, as if it goes into your fourth house, this is going to be a whole nother story. However, as Mars goes into Sagittarius on the 27th, start taking initial action on those beliefs that you have. and nurture yourself with it. So with the Sagittarius Cancer, relationship, with Sagittarius ruling your guys' fourth house, what are your needs? Where do you need to be nurtured? What needs to be understood? What needs to be felt? What do you need from your parents? What do you need in your home and your private life? And find the meaning behind all that. Have the faith and the hope that what you want or what you need, or if you're not sure about that, what the answer to all that is out there, and that you will find it. And the biggest thing is to really dive deep into what possible beliefs there are, where you can really expand and discover more of where you need nurturing and where you need empathy. I think that's going to be a really big deal for you. As well, Venus is going through Capricorn, going through your fifth house. Okay, I think this is a pretty good introduction to Saturn going through your fifth house. As Venus has started off, it's kind of like, okay, stability, I like that. Yeah, money. Excuse me, money, I like that. A job, I like that. A nice car and everything, my taxes are paid and I have good credit. Like, I like that. That's what this Venus in Capricorn is really going to feel like. But it's really just about discovering, hey, man, how nice does it feel to have what you visualize? Especially if you're one of those kids that got the Neptune and Uranus conjunction in Capricorn. How good does it feel to really have what you want and create that for yourself? And embracing that feeling and embracing that essence is really what's going to put a lot more drive and determination into you getting exactly what it is that you want. Being able to put in the work, being able to put in and clock in the hours. That Venus in Capricorn going like, you know what? I want a Tesla so bad that I'm willing to work for it. That's kind of like the Venus Capricorn fifth house energy going on. She will then go on the 18th into Aquarius. She will be going into your sixth house, getting really creative on how you guys work, getting really creative and finding different ways, innovative ways to work, to be of service, to take whatever your daily habits are. If you're wanting to, with Saturn going into Capricorn, all these switches going on, you're going to want to start implementing a different routine, a different system, a better habits to put in place in order for you to create the results that you're looking for. And as Venus goes into Aquarius, start putting in the value in creativity. Start putting in the value of doing something different every day. Put in the value and the ambition and the passion and the fun. The fun in working, the fun in being of service, the fun in healing, the fun in just being playful, especially at something like the workplace. Look at different ideas. Don't just isolate yourself and alienate yourself. You could feel really, like, I gotta cut myself off from everything because I have to work so much. And this is, can you do that? Yeah. Will it work? I mean, yeah. Will you be happy? I don't know. I'm just saying, with this Venus in Aquarius, man, this is the time to connect with people. Isolation, and you may feel isolated and kind of alienated from your peers, or if you're really wanting to dive more into your work, you may feel that a little bit more. However, this is the time to connect to something different. This is the time to connect in you spend 40 hours a week with your coworkers on, someone did the math one time. I was at one of those MLM seminars, and it was like you spend a total of like 80,000 or 800,000 hours with all your coworkers in your lifetime. It's like, damn, you spend more time with them than you do your family. Reaching out to your coworkers. I know it's probably, not what you have in mind, but just reaching out to something different, being a part of something, really bringing that in. As well, as Venus goes through Aquarius, just through the sixth house, just do something different, find different habits, do a different routine, and you'll be good to go. Mercury is in Sagittarius, leaving your fourth house after having that huge retrograde, finally getting some understanding on what it is that, really starting to become aware that you have needs, that you need to be nurtured, that you need to believe in certain things. And as Mercury flies forward, it'll be going through Capricorn, putting yourself in that mindset again of what it is that you really want, what it is that you really desire, what really fulfills your heart. And you'll be thinking a lot about that. So speak it out into the universe, your internal dialogue and how you communicate. That's all Mercury. So not only will you be really thinking about that, having that on your, on your heart and on your mind, really speak that into the universe. This is the time to really get that creative flow, that mind really working, that Virgo analytical mind of yours working. And then, of course, February 1st, Mercury will go into Aquarius, where you can really dive fully into how to really be creative and put in that mindset into an everyday thing. Full moon in Cancer, right on January 2nd, in your 11th house of your friends. You're gonna start seeing that you need to connect to bigger things. You need to connect to other people. Stop isolating yourself. This can be a very emotional subject for you as your friendships, because you love friends and you love being around them. But this is it's hard for you to always be open. It's hard for you to always trust people with it. And this full moon in Cancer on the second and the 3rd of January is really going to highlight all of this for you. Don't be afraid. Literally open yourself up. Let people love you. People love you. You love people all the time. Let them love you. Let them in. Trust them. Trust yourself with this. And, don't be afraid. This full moon in Cancer is going to bring up a lot. Connect to something bigger than yourself. Be with people. Give back to the community in some sort of way. This full moon in Cancer is really going to kind of come into 2018. I don't want to say with a wreck, but hey, man, allow yourself to get real with yourself. Allow yourself to discover, a part of yourself that you repress a lot, a part of yourself that needs connection with people. It's a very emotional, empathetic thing for you. As well, we have the new moon in Capricorn happening. What's going on in your 5th house? Along Venus is conjuncting in your 5th house as well with the sun. So you got a lot of sun energy going on in this 5th house with going into what it is that you want, what it is that you want to build, what it is that you want to create, what it is that means something to you. What do you want to have on a physical and material level? And that's what I got for you guys. This is what it looks like January of 2018. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good month starting off for you guys. You just got to make some, I don't want to say rough decisions, but you got to come from some true choice here rather than just kind of push things off. So I'll leave you guys with that. Have a good January, and I'll be seeing you guys next month.